Hello there, people! So, if you've been paying attention to what I've been doing lately, you'll have known that I've kind of been mostly focused on Doom for like the last 3 weeks or so. Yeah. I've been heavily procrastinating on anything else, mainly because Quake is, we basically actually hit a new level, and I almost was kind of procrastinating or whatnot just because it was like, a big new eventful thing or so, and so it's like, do that or just do a bunch of simple levels or so. But I'm at the point whereby I feel like I'm ready to continue with that. Doom is kind of grinding to a halt at the moment, mainly because with Doom, there's certain issues going on. I'm feeling less than enthusiastic with how like certain things are going. So I'm going to stop really doing Doom a lot and start actually kind of coming back to Quake. I kind of felt bad about how little Quake I've been doing lately, and so yeah, now it's kind of time to flip-flop things and start doing some more Quake-based stuff. I can imagine it's going to be a little bit slower than the Doom series, just because the fact that I'll probably be having to edit stuff on the wiki or whatnot, but we'll still have content coming out, and therefore, that's kind of what the goal is. So yeah, as I said just earlier, today's really kind of a blind playthrough. I have no idea what we're in for with this one level. It could be literally anything. It's a standalone level. As you kind of saw with Deep Flick, it could kind of really be whatever it wants to be. That time around it was a single player level, which was convenient. But I have no idea. It could be a test level. It could be a multiplayer level. It could be single player. Who knows? I sure don't. See, I'm just gonna play it. Gonna see how it is. I'll give like my little commentary opinions here, and then of course we'll throw it up on like the wiki or whatnot. I do like that side. So yeah. For those actually curious about how this is gonna work, I guess I should talk about that really quickly. But yeah, it's basically gonna be, I'm gonna show it here first, because this is the blind playthrough after all. I can't exactly do a blind playthrough if I've seen already the level otherwise. So yeah, first it's going to be like here where I give my initial opinions and check everything out, and then it's all going to jump over to the Quake Wiki side, whereby I edit it up and create the page for it and fill all that stuff in. Yeah. And I'm going to base more of the stuff on like DOS Quake or so, as you kind of been seeing up to this point. I used to do everything on Quake Wiki or whatnot and all GeoQuake, but yeah, I don't even really have like GeoQuake really like nicely set up at the moment. Blame my installation of Windows 8 for that. Ever since I switched to Windows 8 or so, I don't really have like my old shortcuts and all that stuff, so yeah, I don't exactly have that. But it's not really the biggest of deals. It's not like something that's going to be heavily missed. It's still a version of Quake and whatnot. And like I said, it'd be a bit nicer to be on GeoQuake because GeoQuake is a much nicer client in my opinion. But for historical purposes and stuff like that, I'll stick to this. It's pretty fine to do this. And it's like when we hit 97, we'll jump right to GeoQuake and whatnot and do all that. But for the time being, gotta stick with what exactly is historical and awesome. So yeah, let's do this and see what exactly happens. Let's see how exactly we can mess this up. Yeah. So already, I guess one thing you can't say is I can't have any of the compatibility issues that I did with like Doom or whatnot. That's actually one of the big and nice things about doing like Quake and later games. The fact of the matter that I'm such a traditionalist with those games, and it feels like it's easier to install everything, means that I end up with a lot less headaches and frustrations than I do when I'm playing like Doom PWADs. It's just a nicer setup in general for me. And so yeah, that's really going to kind of come to fruition here. It wouldn't really matter. I haven't seen like a single level that's ever had like compatibility issues, but it's a thing to definitely mention. Anyway, I'm blathering on and on and on. Let's see here. Today we're going to be checking out a level called Water. That's a file name. The actual level name is The Sink. Okay. A sink? That's weird. This sounds like it's going to be a test level. The file size is like really small. But usually small file sizes like this usually suggest it's going to be some type of a test level. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if it's a one-room test level that's just involving a sink or something. Knowing how this kind of stuff works, that's probably exactly what we're going to be doing. So yeah, sit here, enjoy it, and enjoy the first Quake level that I played in since 2015 or so. This is like the first new level I played since then. Yeah. Hooray for expand finally stuff on the wiki. Anyway, this was by Dennis Noordsij. Yeah, what a weird name that is. And I have zero idea who that is. I don't recognize that name at all. A not really fun to play level. Wait, what? Why do you advertise it's not fun to play? Would you advertise it is fun to play? Okay. Because it was made to show that you could simulate lowering and raising water. Okay, so it is kind of like a thing. But wasn't this shown back at Darmak? Well, I guess we haven't really seen this thing too much. But yeah, this is kind of what inspired Darmak, I guess. Let's see here. Usual credits or so. It's software for Quake, QBSP, and Lite. Which, if you saw my thread series, you'll know how all that is kind of applied. Basically, you take your map file and you run it through QBSP to basically output and draw it, and then lights for all the different lights and all that. And those two were by id Software, but the actual thread program was not. That was made by, of course, what's his name there? John Maver, I think it is. Yeah, I think it's John Maver that made Thread. He worked on Reddit and then made Thread afterwards. And yeah, we already talked about all this history. Okay, let's see here. The author of the Quake map specs, whatever that means. I don't even know what map specs are. Does he mean like the map editor? I don't know what he's talking about map specs. That's just a weird terminology. But okay. Yeah, like I said, this is really just a test level that just shows water raising and lowering. That's literally the entire point of the level. So yeah, waited 3 weeks, get to show water raising and lowering. I think this was worth it entirely. Anyway, there's no deathmatch or single player. It's easy enough to add apparently, but and yeah, it is if you want to add extra spawn points, but at the moment, really, it's just fast and slow-moving water. Brilliant, huh? That's literally all it is. That's actually what he says the difficulty settings are. Fast and slow-moving water, not. Okay, let's see here. It took him a couple of hours to make. Editors used... Oh my god, this is a mess of editors. He used something called Brush. Something I made to convert my coordinates into the Quake brushes. Just to speed building basic brushes up to... brushes up. Okay, so yeah, basically converted coordinates to brushes. I see. And then he used something called NCEDIT and MS-DOS edit. NCEDIT's pretty nice, but MS-DOS edit can do more. Yeah. Honestly, I've never heard of any of these editors at all during my Quake history, so I don't even know what this level is. Yeah, this is like a very random test level made by somebody I've never heard of. Usually the test levels were all made like one team or so this one's rather weird to me because it's here, but at the same time it's made with a bunch of tools. It's like almost like this stuff is like Hex editor stuff or so. This isn't like stuff made for really Quake at all. Last time around we checked out a Doom editor at least. I don't even know what this is. MS-DOS editor? What is that? That's really weird to me. You'd think you'd hear like the normal things, so like Thread or something like that. Nope, MS-DOS edit, and then NCEDIT, all this fun stuff. So anyway, he doesn't know any bugs. If there ain't known, I'd have fixed them. Is bugs really needed in is it one single level thing? Okay. Let's see here, legal stuff. This comes directly from the test file included with the lava pit level. The author wrote it quite nicely, so here it is. Actually, I think I recognize Lava Pit. I might be wrong, but I believe I know what Lava Pit is. And that's one level we'll be definitely covering further, but this is really just a copyright from it. Okay, so I know that id has supposedly forbidden distribution of custom levels for the shareware version of Quake in their license. But that's obviously unenforceable unless the level being distributed includes parts of the original Quake. Since BSP files include textures, I have decided to distribute this level as a map file. You'll need to run QBSP and Light on it before you can use it. If you'd like to distribute the BSP version, you can try, but I don't know for sure that any sites will accept it. So yeah, this is really old, people. This is, at this time, they weren't even sure that, like, it was legal to put a BSP map file on the internet. So what they did was took a map file, a thread map file, and said you had to compile it yourself. You're basically doing, like, some of the work of, like, a map editor over here to get this bloody thing going. So yeah, you basically need all, like, the DOS tools to get this thing working. Unless you have the Aftershock, whereby you have a nice little BSP file. Hooray for that! Yeah, we don't have to do all the complicated work that we normally have to do. So yeah, that's nice indeed. Okay, also, in case you're wondering, I do not wish to decrease players' chances of registering Quake by distributing levels that work with the shareware. As far as I know, there is no way to make levels that require registered Quake. By releasing custom levels for Quake, I do hope to convince players how cool the game is, and definitely hope that you register Quake if you're using this level. If you don't, you're the one that's hurting ID, not I. So yeah, it's definitely like he's trying to convince us to get Quake, so the actual registered version. Like I said, because if you remember in the past, you'll have remembered that, like, I talked about Thread, and a big flaw with Thread, well, actually, no, it's a big flaw that they saw with Quake in general that the Jonathan Maver found was that, well, even the stuff that was basically supposed to prevent it from working with, like, non-registered versions, like making some maps wouldn't be able to render or so, didn't work. So yeah, it ended up being so that anyone could basically play whatever level they wanted. And so yeah, it ended up becoming basically a complete overlook, and so resulted in basically people making map files, and hopefully you got registered version. Yeah, there's really nothing like Doom you can kind of prevent or something like that. Quake, generally speaking, you don't really have a way to prevent. I mean, I can assume you could use PAK1 stuff, right? Couldn't you just add, like, some of the PAK1 stuff, like a VOR or something, and it work? I don't really get the idea. Maybe I'm confused, but that's beside the point. Anyway, let's actually load up this level and check it out, because that's what the point of today is, right? Yeah, there. Maybe I'm just totally confused. I think I need G. Yep, there we are. Time to kick butt, take names, and see what exactly there is. I'm looking for the sink, which is, of course, water. One of the last levels in this list. If I was doing it alphabetically, as you can see, here's actually where I made it to. Was it up here? I think maybe it was up here. I think I wasn't actually a temple, but TEFAOP or so. So yeah, this is like the list of levels I haven't played right here. So yeah, this is one of the ones I haven't played. So let's check this thing out. Click this button. And first new level in a long time. What's it look like? Music is disabled. Oh, I kind of forgot to load up the music. Let's load up the music before we continue, people. This is what happens when I had Hetson loading last time, and you would think by now I would have it loaded again because it's kind of been 2 weeks or so since then. But yeah, I haven't played Doom since like 3 weeks, so why would I have, like, Quake loaded up or so? There we are. I have it conveniently set it so just to load up whenever I wanted to load up or so. So yeah. Makes it very convenient when you want to load it up quick and easy without having to insert a CD every single time. Just makes it easier to pop in and out. Okay, there we are. Water. I get to see what water looks like. Look at this! There's water! Hey, look at that. The water's raising and lowering. Well then. You wanted the sink? Here's the sink. Yeah! 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 I get to watch water raise and lower! What an amazing concept this is! I don't get the purpose of this at all. Why are we here? How does this help us? Well, I hope you like this test level, people. It's the same thing as what we saw in Darmak, except it's not Darmak. It's a totally random test level. Yeah. This is literally all you have. This is the entire bloody level. There's no secrets, no weapons, no enemies, no nothing. The entire level is just a test for, well, sinking and raising watering. Interesting enough, you can see, like, the water, like, on the side here. I think you're supposed to have, like, the water brush, like, further than it. And he tried making it bots around, so you can end up seeing, like, water blocking the edges. Yeah, it's kind of badly designed. You can see it was pretty crudely designed. I'm going to blame that on the fact of the matter that he used some weird editors or so that weren't exactly normal. Like I said, you didn't even have thread to make this with. Hooray, though! We get a little ride. I want off this ride! Whee! Yeah. So how exactly are we going to ramp the walkthrough for this one? What's it going to be? Sit still. Wait for water to rise. Then sink in water. Don't die. Rise to surface instead. Like, really, this is amazing. This is what 2017 holds in store for us, people. This is an amazing concept. Oh my God, people! We could have seen anything in the world. I saw a water that raises and lowers. Yep, this is the entire level. Wait, what's all this about? Like, it goes higher. Is it just me, or is this like a bigger block? Yeah, it's like a second. Oh my God, look at this. It goes that high up. Look at this. Why does it go so high up? What is all this about? Why do you have all this virtual garbage up here? Also, the interesting thing I should note, there's a lot more visual anomalies if you try and play with, like, Quake. So that way it's kind of hard to actually no-clip around and see what you're doing. So yeah, it's a lot easier to see in original DOS Quake than it is in Quake, this type of stuff. Yeah, if it was in Quake, I would be able to tell what's going on right here. Anyway, so is this kind of what's going on? Is this, like, the brush moving, maybe? I'm kind of confused. Why does this giant physical solid brush here? Well, there's like an outer lip or so. Yeah, if you notice, there's like an outer lip to the inner lip or so. I'm trying to figure out if it's the water brush that's moving, or is it the actual solid brush that's moving? See, it's the actual solid brush itself that's moving. The water itself is staying still. But it's weird because it's not even like the actual solid thing that's moving. It's like this little lip here. You can see. Like, this is the top of the rum. Well, that's weird. Anyway, I think we're kind of running out of ideas to do here. This is a really simple level, people. I know it's kind of anticlimactic to wait 3 weeks and then just show water raising and lowering. This is interesting. I'm sitting here just no-clipping. I'm not doing anything. And it's raising and lowering with me. Like, I'm not doing anything and it's raising and lowering. I wonder if this has something to do with that brush above. Is it like maybe the brush is pulling it up or something like that? And it's like pulling the entire area up? I don't know what's going on. But yeah, it's basically weird because it's like raising and lowering me. It's a weird mechanic indeed. Definitely strange. Anyway, I think we're kind of bored. I'm kind of bored out of my mind here, so there's really not much to really show. But it is interesting to show this off because this is a custom designed thing or so that you don't see really in the original game, and yet you see in Darmak. This is basically the concept of Darmak done as a test level, so it is pretty interesting to check out. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching. It's been an adventure, and I shall see you all next time. As soon as I get out of this game. No, I gotta learn it's exit, not quit. Anyway, thank you very much all for watching. It's been an adventure. I shall see you all next time.